Hey everyone, how are you doing? Someone reached out to me recently saying that they would love to get work as a content writer, but they just don't know if they have the necessary skills, experience, training, etc. Writing is a bit of an anomaly that way. With almost every other profession, you need specific training of some kind. You cannot just pick up a scalpel and call yourself a surgeon. You cannot tell people you're a plumber just because you happen to own a plunger. And if you have a career as, say, a teacher or a lawyer, and you decide that you want to do something else, you almost always have to go through some kind of training. If you want to be a photographer, you have to learn about lighting and photo retouching. If you want to be a mechanic, you have to learn how to fix cars. For a lot of professions, you need licenses, registrations, accreditation. Writing is one of very few professions that you can go into straight from another career with no interruption, no training, nothing. You can quit your job and refer to yourself as a writer the very next day. I wouldn't recommend it. There is some planning that should go into it, but you can. What all of this means is that at any given time, there is a massive number of writers out there looking for work. A while ago, I placed an ad on a job site looking for some freelance writers, and the response I got was immense. Within a couple of days, I must have had 300 responses. I only had 3 positions to fill, so this was a problem. And it's a problem for the writers who have to somehow convince potential clients that they are better than the other hundreds of people who are trying to convince the same potential clients of the same thing. How do you make it as a writer in this kind of environment? This is a topic that will cover more than one video. I am working on some tips for people who want to get into freelance writing. That's coming soon, so hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you won't miss it. For today, I'm going to tell you what I look for when I'm hiring a writer. Now, these are not hard and fast criteria, but if you're wondering whether you have the qualities needed, this may give you some guidance. But I don't speak for all people who are hiring. This is just me. First, I ask for a couple of years of writing experience, but that does not have to be paid experience. Almost everyone who wants to earn money as a writer already writes in some capacity. Either they blog or writing is a component of whatever job they've been doing. Do I ask for writing samples? Yes. I need to know that whoever I'm hiring has a reasonable grasp of grammar, sentence structure, how to convey a message in writing, all that kind of stuff. In most cases, applicants will send me links to their personal blogs. From time to time, I will get an applicant who has only written for an employer. That writing is owned by the employer, which means the applicant cannot provide a sample. If this is the case, I will give the applicant a task. I'll send them a topic and ask them to write about it. And I pay them for that sample. I do not and will never ask for free samples. I think that is a terrible practice, highly disrespectful of the writer. I do not expect anyone to give me free writing. Another thing I look for is research capability. Research is such a big part of writing, especially the kind of content I focus on. I specialize in mental health and addictions, and a lot of what I produce has a medical slant to it. If my articles contain inaccurate information, people can be harmed. I take that risk extremely seriously. I do what I do because I want to help people. So any writer I hire has to demonstrate that they know how to do research. This can be a tricky thing. Research involves a lot more than typing something into a Google search bar. You need to be able to tell the good information from the bad. You must know how to verify sources. You must know how to find out where to look for information that may be hard to find. Oh, Lord. Stop. The ability to meet deadlines is important. Content writing is almost always done on a schedule. There is not a lot of wiggle room, so I need to know you can get things to me on time. I'm reasonable about it. When I hire freelancers, I find out how much work they can take on, what their turnaround times are, and so on. I base my content schedule on that information, and if things are submitted late, it can totally throw me off. A key component of being a writer is having the ability to accept feedback. Very few first drafts make it to publication on a website or blog. Even with the stuff I write, there's always something in the first draft that has to be changed. Sometimes the changes are minor, sometimes they're extensive. It can be hard to get feedback that the content you submitted wasn't up to scratch in some way, but it's part of the job. And the more feedback you get, the better you become at producing good quality content. The final thing I look for, and this is so important because of the kind of content I produce, Whoever I work with has to have a passion for mental health. The whole point of what I do is to help people, to raise awareness of mental health and to break down the stigmas that surround mental illness and addiction. I need to work with people who truly care about this. Passion for work is a concept that is thrown around a lot, but in this case, it really matters. That's it for this video. I hope it has been helpful to anyone who is thinking of this kind of work. Feel free to ask me questions. I am more than happy to answer. Just leave a comment or send me a message. My social media handles are on the screen. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I'll see you next time.